Hello, everyone. And today we have another episode of Pharma Talks podcast with me, Nataliya and Patrick, your host. And today I have an amazing guest. Please meet Patrick Markt-Niederreiter. He's a founder and CEO of Zero Click Healthcare Advisory. Look at the name, Zero Click Healthcare Advisory. How amazing. Patrick, you are welcome. Please tell us about your story, about yourself, your professional career.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Nataliya, and welcome everybody. Like said, I am the founder of Zero Click Healthcare Advisory. So, what is my job? Actually, I'm helping pharma and medtech teams to overhaul your playbooks. So, how? With an AI first mindset, test driven ways of working, so that you can learn faster, ship smarter, and free your experts for the human stuff that actually moves outcomes. So, what does it mean? I've spent around 15 years in digital innovation. I had the pleasure to consult top tier pharma and medtech during my career, and I advised AI startups that power everything from omnichannel engagement to medical affairs automation. And today I'm super happy to be your guest, Nataliya, and to talk about what changes when you flip from an AI last to an AI first mindset.
Exactly. This is the main reason to have an AI and technology, and most important, pharma domain expert, because today our topic, not just about AI, but how AI changes the role of content, the role of teams, and the decision-making process. So this is not anymore the experiment. It is no longer the proof of concept or pilot. It is becoming foundational for our industry. So, Patrick, from your experience, what AI first mean in pharma?
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk beyond the buzzword. So it means basically that you design workflows around automation and AI so that humans can focus on the judgment and machines focus on the scaling so that you are 10 to 100 times more effective. So what it means is an AI last mindset means it's a bolt on tool. You decided what you want to do and then you use AI to achieve it. An AI first mindset means you redesign the workflows around automation. So allow me to give two examples. An AI last mindset example would be you focus on how AI can optimize an existing workflow so that you are faster or cheaper or incrementally better. Please note that all of these KPIs are internally focused, which is another topic and difficulty. So what you could do is automatically track KPIs to indicate your performance and create a management summary report. Some people would say, fantastic, I don't need to spend my time to create a management report anymore. But is that really what changes the needle? An AI first mindset would mean that you build your workflow around the capability of AI. For example, an AI is able to suggest discussion points for your meetings because it discovers significant deviations for your detected KPIs. And the AI delivers common ground to start this discussion versus talking through entire dashboards. I can give you two concrete examples. Example one. In one of my former companies, we were able to reduce the time to segment key opinion leaders by 99%. So these numbers can only be achieved with an AI first mindset from 2 minutes to segment key opinion leaders, from 2 months to 1 minute. Okay, because it was clear what are the segmentation criteria, what are the off criteria, and how can AI help us to allocate the customers so that in the end, a human is in the loop and makes the final decision. So it's not AI or human, it's AI and human. Okay? Or Ali, which is a company which you can implement the software in one day. You heard right, one day. Yeah, it is like a Spotify playlist showing you deviations, market share for your campaign KPIs. Yeah, did you overperform, underperform? And then you can start to discuss what really matters instead of looking at dashboards. And before I move on with KPIs and learning cycles, Nataliya, what do you think? How is this shift already changing expectation inside content and medical teams?
changed a lot. It is a disruption for sure. Like in the beginning, we all tried to have, like I would say, disconnected processes. As you say, like we could generate an image, we could generate a video, we could generate a message and place it in somewhere so to make sure the content is created as the whole piece. Today, what we can see, it's no longer enough. We have end-to-end process of marketing communication to be created with different AI agents under the hood. Now everyone is thinking beyond of just having one agent. They're thinking about having an army of agents architecturally connected. And you know what I have figured out for myself, that now we are, as you know, we are not only pharma but also technology tribe. We are moving from API era to the era of connection of through MPS, so with connection of the agents. So we invented the new protocol for these connections. So and this is what is exciting, because this is a new time, the technological time, where you can create an agent which is helping you to plan, actually to upload your marketing tactic, analyze, retrieve, and even suggest these segments. Then another step, this segment can figure out with another agent what type of content is existing in your digital asset management tool, what is matching, what was the best practices, the story, and you're absolutely right. It is seconds and minutes, it's not days, it's not months, it's seconds. So, and the next, wow, if you have that and you have your templates and you have your design system ready, your AI is just taking all this data and using your rules, generating you an awesome material, which you can actually test exactly with the very same environment with another agent who is simulating the behavior of your doctor or another respondent you want to talk to with this communication. So, and this architecturally is very clever and is not really taking you months to build, because the new era for technology is arriving. Now, every programmer in our company in V7 is using AI tools for what? To check their code, to introduce all the mistakes, all the hiccups. So there are less bugs than any time before, and we are delivering feature after feature as fast as baking cakes. I don't know. So that's how it changed. But nevertheless, I have another question for you, because a part of this speed evolution, there is an evolution of KPI and learning cycles. Do you want to share with us anything about this type of evolution?
Absolutely. So thanks for touching upon the possibilities of nowadays using agents or agent networks, because this is actually an AI first mindset. What can you do so that agents helps you? So the question is, can you still use the same KPIs, or can you continue to measure what made you successful in the past? I don't think so, because I believe we need to replace output driven metrics, for example, how much content did we create, to insight to act time. So, insight to act time means the moment an information is available, for example, how your campaign performed, until you make a decision based on this information. And dear listeners or viewers, yeah, of the pod and video cast, you can ask yourself, for how many processes in your company do you know the time from insight to action? Why is this important? Because faster insight to act or action means you have more validated learnings, means you will be more relevant and you will achieve better patient outcomes. What it will allow you to do is create a new operational tempo for content teams. Again, allow me to share an example. An output-based KPI, which is still driven by AI, would be: we've increased our number of sent emails by 10% versus last month or last quarter, etc., by following AI recommendations on content preferences. The belief is more volume equals bigger success. So who of you experienced, let's say, irritation to say least, due to too many emails? So is volume really what we want? Or do we focus on an outcome-based KPI, like Insight to Act, where we can say we've decreased our time for content redeployment based on customer feedback by 100%, so from 4 to 2 weeks. And this Insight to Act KPI would tell you two things. One, you've increased your ability for validated learnings by factor 2, because you create double the amount of content. And 2, the content resonates extremely well with customers because they are willing to receive double the amount of detail aids. Furthermore, and very important, it shifts the internal focus to customers, since you must be very clear on what you want to achieve for the customer. Is it a higher NPS? You want to collect consent for new channels? Is it participation in events which were declined before? So an AI-first mindset with resort KPIs will propel your operational tempo for content creation, for reusage and redeployment to new heights, so that you can have up to 100% more engagement without fatiguing the customers. And Nataliya, looking at KPIs a little bit differently, can you explain to us how eWizard makes that speed possible?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question because, first of all, you're absolutely right. We are cutting the distance between seeing the KPIs and acting on that. So I would say a wizard is making possible all the KPIs to be gathered and the journey between the system where we carry the KPIs between system A, system B, and system C, so is safe. Because what we are doing, we are not just building the connections through the APIs between the different systems. We have more than 200 of integrations, including all the popular trendy technology in the market. We are taking care about the initial KPIs developed by commercial team for this part of the communication, and we are carrying this responsibility of safe travel, safe passage of the KPIs while you are publishing your ready asset to a third-party system, while you are making your changes, you're upgrading your versions, you are migrating from one format to another, you are reusing one of the components, modules, or whatever in the another channel, you are generating something in the template. We are every time taking care that KPIs are safe with us. And some of our customers are telling, we are more than 14 years with eWizard, and the major thing you are doing, guys, we never even once lost the KPIs between the multiple integrations we have, and we never use a human capacity to keep them safe. All these automated. This is what is the biggest thing we are doing. But being back to this acting fast, which is really, really important, and I know this is something you are doing for long, long time already. I want to ask a tricky question about, speed of testing and scaling in pharma, as we are living in very regulated environment. And you might know the tricks too about that, right?
I know one or the other trick, and before I move there, I fully agree. I think it's extremely important that people start to accept that learning is what will create relevance for your customers. Because nobody knows what is the KPI which will tell us in the end whether we are successful. But if the whole organization becomes better in understanding what makes the difference, then you have a competitive edge. And I'm happy to hear that V7 and eWizard is also one way to get there. So if we look now at the way how you can test and scale new approaches in a regulated environment, I think there are basically two ways how you can do it. There's the old model, and the new model. So the old way is basically a top-down, one-size-fits-all rollout. Okay? The new model is micro experiments, measure, and scale what works. Again, two examples. So implementing the exact same CRM or content creation top-down for all countries and users. Change management means for you basically persuading the organization, because a few people who made a decision tell many people why this is the best for everybody in the company, with no chance to align the views. So if you think about your last CRM implementation and all the fun, tell me whether I'm the only one who got goosebumps or whether it hit you also. Okay?
I think those goosebumps are hitting us all, and even the bigger battles we can experience today about CRM, people are not changing. They are not likely to make this decision lightly because of these goosebumps.
Absolutely. So how could a new or different way look like? So this is basically a test-bed rollout, and I would like to use an example of an AI ML powered engagement plan. So artificial intelligence, machine learning powered engagement plan. So different models were used and tested first versus traditional engagement planning. So you had a comparison. Or new model features were tested versus not having them or versus older model features. Okay? You start to understand the impact. You can quantify it. So what happened is very interesting because it shifted the interests from people, salespeople and so on, from how does this work, so that I can sabotage the model, to when do I get it, and what about the following customer assumptions, for example, out-of-pocket spending or age. Do they have an impact on prescription behavior? So critics turned into adopters. And what you basically do is you stop persuading the organization and you start to sell success stories based on hard facts, which is a very different way. You don't need to anticipate upfront who is right and how the perfect how of implementation looks like, but you use this approach to find your way through the jungle while walking through the jungle, which I think is the only way nowadays because of all the complexity. And just one word, this is also where we with Zero Click Healthcare Advisory and our maturity assessment help you to make those wins visible, because what becomes measurable changes sales itself. So my question is, Nataliya, does also eWizard help you to move towards less clicks and better outcomes?
I think that was the major idea when, like 14 years ago, we have decided to plant such a fantastic creature as the wizard is, because we are, as programmers, you can understand, all programmers are very lazy people, and the laziness is moving their, smartness and the invention power. So that said, our programmers were highly motivated to do less and have more spare time. And they have developed our own framework, which is underneath the wizard, using all the technologies like modern trends, now AI. So to make sure like they are not coding actually, they are clicking the buttons, they drag and drop, they are imagine things and then make imagination work. So this is how we do. But being on the serious note, I know what you are asking, because within this change management, there is a lot of fear in people losing jobs or being like not really in their best suits with the AI. It also drags a bit of this AI literacy problem where all of us must work. So that said, how we address that, we know that every company today in the world, in pharma and beyond, is inventing with AI on their own, which is fine and which is very good. And the technology providers like us, they shouldn't monopolize the technology, because this is the old approach. In fact, we should democratize the technology. What does it mean? Imagine every of our customers, they are having different ecosystem of tools. Some of them, the richest, they have like 20 or 30 different programs running for different purposes. And then, there must be something beyond the normal integration with a purpose, the technology which can take all of them together into the end-to-end journey on the content to be created. And this technology should not be monopolizing the others or just corrupting or anything else. It should have the open API, open mind, open sharing, and connect the dots exactly in the way for the customer benefit. As an example, the journey of the campaign can start in some one space, then move to the other space where these could be identified and segments could be created. Then a wizard can create some of the channels. Then the other systems, similar as the wizard, can create the others. Then we take care about the formats and the KPIs and take them to the third-party production systems. Like no loss, no admin work for the programmers. Everything is smooth. This integration journey is one of the strongest suits we have. And a part of the technology, EVA AI, we have introduced a couple of weeks back, which is actually connecting all the dots from the planning to MLR acceleration and content generation. So we understand our customers who also created their own agents who are working on the top of their data, and we can integrate them under the hood of our technology, no problem. And they can use our interface to build this end-to-end journey. This is how we position ourselves today in terms of how to make this gap less, make sure that there is no necessity to have very deepness of AI literacy, but the interface will be convenient. There will be no much technological knowledge involved for our customers, and they will be able to do all the work they used to do in their way or using AI on their choice. So this is how we position it today, and we believe this is how customers thinking today as well. Is we see that demand on the integrations, we see demand on the integrated end-to-end environments with the less logging in, logging out environments. We can see this today, and we can see the disparate, demand for this, end-to-end journey. So this is where we are looking with AI and with the technology we are providing, and this is how we want to help. And I believe this is something we can talk endlessly, right? But the customers know better what they need, and they can always address us within that question. Nevertheless, as the last note in this nice conversation, Patrick, I would like to ask, what would be your advice to those who are watching us and thinking about their journey in AI and their innovation? Can you advise them something from your experience?
I will do my best. Let me try, Natalia. So, dear listeners and viewers, in my experience, the best technology helps you to focus on what you can achieve for your customers. You don't need to worry about how it works, yeah, or how complicated it is, but the technology forces you to think about what is it that you really want. You want to run a campaign. Which campaign? Who is the audience? What are you trying to achieve with the audience? Is it more engagement? Is it higher customer satisfaction? Be as precise as you can be. And AI and technology like from V7, eWizard, EVA gives you opportunity to do so, because you need to be aware what you want to achieve, and then they make it as easy as possible for you. So this would be my advice. You can always reach out to Nataliya and her talented team. If you want to know more about the zero-click mindset, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Yeah, but I hope this helps you. It was a pleasure to be your guest, Nataliya. I wish you a lot of success, and I'm very happy that you really try to achieve more by doing less with your customers.
Patrick, thank you so much. For our listeners and viewers, like we are all acting together as one. And today's secret is to keep collaboration, less competition, more connection and collaboration. So we'll be happy together with Patrick to consult, to advise on AI. We're bringing technology. Patrick can bring the experience on his own from the industry and beyond. So I will be happy to receive your questions and to connect. Meanwhile, thank you very much and wish you a successful day. Thank you for watching and listening us. Goodbye.
Bye.